that. Well, that was quick. Good. What time is it? Afternoon, evening. Good.
Afternoon. It's afternoon.
Okay, we'll call it afternoon. Good afternoon in a hot Caribbean country called Jamaica. It is GZ again with your boys Jackson Bryan and Miss Savage. We welcome you
Vamos,
once more. Vamos, my friend.
vamos. How are you doing today, Jackson?
Yes, well, you see, I'm a bit closer to the camera because my shirt's open, and this is not that sort of website, so don't want to be demonetized or anything like that. Um,
Yeah,
or you in the land of the free, you know. How's that going?
it's like like yesterday, I thought it was gonna snow. That's how cold it was.
Hmm.
Went out to play football. We couldn't because the field was icy. And then today, it's hot. So I'd like to say the US is bipolar.
Bipolar.
Especially where I am.
That's a lot
Uh,
of experience.
yeah, exactly. Um, it's been going good though. Just getting a feel of the country, getting a feel of the vibe. It's really quiet most days. Um, you know, can't wait for the Prem season to start back, Jackson.
Bro, I can't wait. Listen, predictions. Remember, guys, I always said predictions will be dropping on what day is it? It's Saturday. We'll drop them on Friday. I think we would be just in time to have it. Um, Obviously, we're gonna have an in-depth one posted on the as an article view, but we are gonna have one posted on the Twitter page at GZ_sports22 again. Um, because apart from possibly Luton Town finishing rock bottom, I have no idea what else is gonna happen in the Prem, and I'm going to have to actually sit and think about that. And I might make decisions that shock people. I might be told I don't know anything about football, but that's why I'm gonna have to write about it. Uh yeah, that's why I may have to write about it. Speaking of writing, there's the link. Because one country with only about 3 million people decided that it was good, it was okay to go through to the round of 16 in the World Cup. Yes, we're talking about this one. As we, as locals can say, we alone can say it, not any foreigners. They shit bag of a country. Has done it. We have done it. We're big, but we still have no holiday from Andrew Holmes. He's the worst prime minister ever. I hate him. Damn, but that's obvious. That's rubbish. Where's the holiday? When the men qualified, Patterson was on his plane immediately. Give them the week off. Nothing now. Nothing. Nothing. But yeah, this is not a political show. Um, the Reggae Girls have, I mean, look, defensively, Mourinho would be fantastic. We would love these performances in the group stages. We've only scored one goal, so that's gonna have to change against a team with Linda Caicedo up front. Um, Thoughts on the game? I watched it. Thoughts on the whole group stages. Let's not just do one game. On the whole group stages so far of what's transpired.
All right. Well, we talked about the France game earlier. How proud we were. They defended really well. They did exceptionally well in the defensive third. For this entire tournament so far, 3 games, no goals conceded. I think we're one of only 3 nations to do that, along with Japan and I think it's Colombia. Correct me if I'm correct. Who will be coincidentally facing in the next round?
No, it was
Um, it was who?
Sweden and Japan.
Oh, Sweden and Japan, not Colombia. My bad. Um, I'm proud. I am very proud of them. You know, coming into this tournament, one expected us to finish third or bottom of our group again. We're the sort of team that everyone thought that they just come up against and be like, "Hey, 3 points. Let me just
It's
take
easy.
that." Um, Instead, we've actually been really rock solid. Especially compared to the last World Cup where we conceded about 9 goals at this stage. Yeah, about 9 goals. Five and an X3. That's 8. No, we actually conceded about 12 goals. Sorry. Um, eh,
Conceded a lot.
we we've done amazingly for ourselves. I am especially proud of the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper, man,
Excellent,
like
sir.
like I need to get her number. Anybody know her number? Anybody have her contacts? Let me just link
We're
her
gonna
real quick.
chill. That's a Spurs chick. That's the first
Bro,
deep actually.
bro, she gonna win a trophy by getting me, dog. Let's just know that.
Yeah.
All right, but moving on to the Panama game. I
Mhm.
expected a win. I would have been extremely, extremely, extremely disappointed if we did not get a win. And we came, we fought, we conquered, courtesy of Swaby, a headed goal, set piece, and then we had to face the team that, quite frankly, humiliated us in 2018, was it? Or
19.
2019, my bad. The team that humiliated us in 2019, um, Brazil. I believe they beat us 5-0 in that match. Um, so we had the mammoth task, and they had the task to beat a team ranked 43rd or 42nd in the world, being ninth, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And when the game started, everyone's a little bit shaky. Personally, I could not get to watch the game. I woke up for it, and I had 30 minutes. When I woke up 2 hours after it ended. I'm like, holy crap, what? But you know, it starts 4 o'clock in the morning for me most days. Most of the games it's 4 a.m. I'm lucky if I get to see a 5 a.m. game, but it's always 4 a.m., 3:30 a.m. Hell, they had a couple 1:30 a.m. games for where I am, so you know, I'm not stay up to watch that. but
Hopefully.
but yeah, we went against Brazil, and all I'm going to say, our defense, and once again the Swaby sisters and the keeper putting us on the map, 18 degrees north and 77 degrees west. We conquered the mighty, mighty, mighty Brazil, and all credits and love from Jamaica to Brazil. A lot of you don't really understand how much Jamaicans love Brazil,
Yeah, it was
right?
hard for us.
Yeah, it was hard for us to know that we were the ones that knocked you guys out. But I mean, it serves us a great immense pride. It would be like the Reggae Boys going and knocking out Brazil in a Copa America. I know it doesn't make sense, but we've been invited a couple times. So you get the point. We are very proud of the women. Just to make a World Cup run of 16, men's or women's football is amazing. All of the struggles and stress that this team face, having to set up a GoFundMe because what this JPS can go under the money and don't get the girl them none,
Which is right.
right?
Yep, we all know that.
All all credit to Cedella Marley, um, daughter of Cedella Banker and the legendary Robert Nesta Marley, for reopening the program that was closed. I think it was 2008, reopening it with her own money, with her own funds, and the team doing this nation so proud. It was hard. It was a very nervy time. Didn't watch the match, and I was so nervous to check the result because I knew that just 1-0 for Brazil and we would be out. And when I saw that 0-0, I just felt relief. I felt an absolute sense of national pride. I felt as though we could conquer the entire world. And now we have to look to our South American counterparts in order for us to go to the next round of the competition. The one issue with them is that they are free scoring and we haven't conceded yet. It's going to be very interesting to see if we can manage, if Bonnie Shaw, if the forwards, if the midfielders can manage to create against Colombia and score. We did create one or two chances against Brazil. And I mean great chances. I don't mean like, situational chance. I mean great chances, like clear one-on-one chances. A Bunny Shaw skied that one, and the other one ricocheted off the attacker and just went out of play. I think personally, we are proud of them. We are proud of them. We are very much proud of the girls, and I think that personally, Andrew should give the people the holiday at the end of the day. A little bonus, a little holiday,
You see.
just to celebrate it. Because just for the men to qualify, we'd have gotten an holiday, and the women are in the round of 16. That cements our place in the top 16 teams in the entire world, right? Now I know that FIFA is going to only put us in the 30s or the 40s. Well, not the 40s because we're low 40s.
Yeah.
They're going to put us in the 30s after this. But I don't see any reason why we shouldn't go and beat Colombia and make our first ever. We are the first ever to be in the round of 16 from the Caribbean, and be the first ever to go to the quarterfinals. I want to see a Morocco-esque performance from us.
That
I
would
want to
mean
see a
a lot.
Morocco-esque.
That would mean a lot and a lot of penalties. But as you said, you
Yes.
know, we could conquer the world. But bro, that's a really good segue into my next point, right? I don't want to get ahead of myself, you know, because obviously we do have the best striker in the world in our team. Um, we do have a very good goalkeeper and a good centre half pairing. I mean, one plays at PSG. Um, and then you have the fullbacks who are really good. Drew Spence who can control the midfield. The question is, and I think I'm maybe getting ahead of myself, right? But can we win the World Cup?
Oh, well, I mean, in order to be realistic, I
Because
mean, every team.
look, we're not conceding, right? And all we have to do is drag every game to penalties. Becky Spencer saves a pen. We're going through to the next one, and then the next one. I mean, could we actually win the World Cup scoring just one goal? That's never happened in men's game either.
I think Spain 1-0 the entire competition. You know, to
Yeah,
be honest with you, they won.
remember 2010, they 1-0 the entire competition.
After losing the opening game, they did 1-0 the entire competition after that. To
Mhm.
be honest with you, my faith in Jamaica and the women's team is high, but I wouldn't expect us to go and win everything. Right? I don't want to sound pessimistic. I'm just trying to be realistic here. The likes of Australia, the likes of England, the likes of um Spain, Japan, we'd have to claw our way and battle through these elite, the best of the best teams in the world in order to even have a shot to lifting that gold trophy. I genuinely think that I genuinely think that we I think we have a long shot against Colombia, quite frankly. I think that if we beat Colombia, it is a exceptional performance worthy of a Ballon d'Or. You know?
Yeah.
Of course, me saying that the Christie is a women's tournament, not a male, you can't join.
Yeah.
Um
I
it,
mean,
it,
but look, I don't want to say this and sound like what do you say, bigotry. But if Cristiano does decide that he identifies as a woman, I think they would have to let him in.
no.
I think
FIFA's
that's
cracking down on that.
otherwise you'd be fighting against the rights or something. I don't want to get into that conversation, but I'm just saying. I've heard people say if one wants to identify as a woman, so be it. So I'm just
I mean, let
working.
me tell you what. Let me tell you what. Cristiano, I rate you and all, but you're an Olympic diver. Go do diving, right? You don't need football, and you have sons, you have a wife. Well, not really wife, but common law wife at this point, basically, right? Go be with them. Jamaica would love you, but while we love camels, I don't think Australia is a perfect climate for you, bro. So you have to stay home. We prefer goats, not camels, you know?
Wow, man. But listen, we're gonna be well. I'm going to be watching that game. I think it's. I keep getting messed up with the time. I think the pre-game is at 2 a.m. The game starts at 3. So yeah,
Bro,
that's why we should have gotten a holiday because it is Independence on Monday. We're playing on the Tuesday. We should have gotten the day off to watch the game.
bro, let me tell you that. Let me tell you. No, Independence is tomorrow. Independence is Sunday,
No,
which is
well, we're
tomorrow.
gonna celebrate it on the 7th because it has to be for some reason it has to be celebrated within the week.
Yeah, for for holiday purposes. So we're getting a holiday that day, anyways. But we're not getting a holiday the second day, I don't think. But in any case, right? I want us to go as far as we can physically can. I'm not expecting us to go and win the entire tournament, but I would love for us to go very far, especially to secure the girls the funding so that they can actually get paid by the JFF and have money left over for the next World Cup and the World Cup after that one. Because I believe that we can qualify for a three in a row, right? We're good enough, we have the quality, We have the players and we have the coaches. We have to just big up to the coach as well, you know. One of the only male coaches coaching a female team in the entire tournament, and it's the first time I see a man of that size flick, you know.
Oh, you saw that? Oh,
So I have to just give him my props and everything like that. But yeah, the girls will win if we provide chances for Bonisha and if we stay as defensively compact as we have and then some against Colombia. After that, then we can worry about if we could possibly go all the way. Until we beat Colombia, we can't say that.
that's true. That's true. But all I'm saying, you know, if we do win by some stretch of the imagination, Jamaica do win the World Cup. I don't want a day, a week. I want a month of a holiday, a whole month.
A whole
Because
30 days of celebration for
you see
all
how
30
long
players in the squad.
you see how long Argentina celebrated when Messi won it. I think it was like 2 weeks straight. I want a
Yeah,
month of that. I want a month of celebration. No work, nothing, no bills to worry about. Just vibes.
lone
Just,
vibes. Always
just
at the wheel again. Always at the wheel again,
always
folks.
at the wheel.
Lone vibes.
Everything's nice. No negative energy. Just vibes. But anyway, we'll be watching the girls. We'll be cheering them on as per usual. If this guy doesn't fall asleep again, he'll be watching again. But
Dude, it's 4 a.m. for me. What do you expect me to do?
yeah, bro. But listen, all I have to do is just turn the TV loud enough until you hear the anthem. I was sleeping. I just turned on the TV and then I heard the anthem. I'm like, oh shit, the game. Got up, stood up,
No,
watched
let
the
me tell
game.
you. The way it's set up, the television is downstairs, right? And it's going to be early. You know what? I'm watching it anyways. No excuses.
Yeah, bro. But listen, we're gonna have to continue moving on. Yeah, we're gonna move on. Club football. Club football starts within a week. Well, the championship has already begun. League One, League Two. I was catching some of them games trying to keep up with them actually. It's really hard to watch that many when you have only two systems. Trying to split screen doesn't really help me when one goal is scored and then a guy gets sent off in the other. But we're gonna jump on a team that should have done better last season, a team that is looking to do better, that is in Liverpool. Now, we know that they're looking for a number six because they've got Sabozlea, they got McAllister, they do need a six, or else everybody's gonna run through that midfield like after someone goes to Taco Bell as you're in the States, you know what that is like now. So you know how run through that is.
I
Um,
have not had it yet, you know, and I don't plan
do
to.
not, do not. Anyway, um, they are in talks. They were in talks. They sent a couple bids for Romeo Lavia. The latest one being rejected at £45 million, as per multiple sources. Um, so afterwards, we were watching Sky Sports. You know, I always watch Sky Sports in the morning. Watch the transfer center, see what's up, and I don't even remember his name. I was going to take his name down, but then I had to leave. I tried googling it, still can't find it. Don't really care. This reporter compared Romeo Lavia to Andre from Fluminense, and I was shocked. I was flabbergasted and quite possibly bamboozled.
He
Andre,
did what?
Andre to Romeo Lavia is like comparing Tony Cruz to Fabinho. What?
It doesn't make any sense, does it? I'd have much rather he had made a comparison with another player. I don't see why he'd make a comparison like that. It's just out of pocket. It's like comparing Messi and Ronaldo. It's nowhere near, bro. You know,
Yeah,
I'm I'm sorry. I keep shitting on Ronaldo. Ronaldo, you're a camel. I mean, you're a goat. All right. This is my. I don't get it. I need to know the name of that reporter because I need his job as soon as possible because I don't understand how you're going to compare Romeo Latvia with Andre. Like, what Latvia isn't even Andre of quality yet. Personally speaking, Romeo Romeo Latvia is nowhere near Andre David from Fluminense because Fluminense, he did not get relegated. Fluminense is comfortably always in the Copa Libertadores. They're always playing in the Brazilian league. They're always challenging for the title, I should say, right? They're up there with Athletic Mineiro. They're up there with Flamengo. How are you gonna compare them to relegation bound Southampton, right? How are you going to compare them? How are you going to compare a Rolls Royce to a Bomber 2008 Honda Accord? I don't even know if Accord was made in 2008. That doesn't make no sense. I don't know. I don't know cars like that. But that's like comparing Carlos Puyol, and Harry Maguire. And just because Harry Maguire have a higher value, you think him better. Like, bro,
Yeah,
what?
bro, I couldn't understand the comparison because when they were talking about midfielders who they could sign Liverpool and whatnot, and he said, well, they're looking at the Brazilian Andre, and I was like, well, but Andre is not gonna go anywhere anyway. The president of Fluminense already said he's not leaving. The Brazilian window is shut anyway. And then he said, and then the presenter themselves, I think it was the lady, the blonde lady at the time, and she said, "Who is he most reminded of?" And I was like, "Andre." Well, you could say he's more of Fernandinho because he doesn't really keep possession; he just destroys. And he said he's comparable to Romeo Lavia, and I'm like, do these people actually even watch football? Because Lavia, for last season at Southampton, I don't know about you. Yes, he did play the six, but in no way was he an anchor or a destroyer type midfielder. He was more of a deep playmaker than anything else. Like you could even say
Exactly.
he was a box to box because he was scoring goals. He was up there in the opponent's box. Like I don't get. I listen, and I've known this for a while, but there are many people in certain positions that really don't earn where they are because to say that just signifies that you have no ball knowledge. That's like, and I can tell you this, that's like the people now, the children now, saying Erling Haaland is as good as Fat Ronaldo. Like, you're young, you can get away with it. But somebody of our age or older saying that completely says you never had ball knowledge, right? There are people
Let's
saying,
introduce him to my friend Lynching.
oh, listen, unless you're going to turn the cam back on, you can't say you can't bring up your Asian guy. Anyway,
Dude, come on.
anyway, listen, there are even people like in basketball. The only GOAT debate is MJ LeBron. There are people trying to say Kevin Durant is the best in the world. Like, come on, you just
Who
making
even is Kevin Durant? What is
it.
that?
You're just making it ridiculous. And like, I will listen. I don't get where they get off. Yes, we are here in our quarters. We're not wearing, suits and ties and going to present on Sky or Talk Sport or BBC or BT or whatever. That doesn't mean we don't have knowledge more than them. That doesn't mean we're not more knowledgeable, and that doesn't mean we don't actually watch the sport and can make a proper comparison. Because look, Andre, his comparison is Fernandinho, as I said. Lavia, he's more of when Ancelotti decides to play Cruz in the six. He's more of a Verratti. He's not that player to get stuffed into challenges every 5 seconds, but he will make a tackle if he needs to. That's a comparison there. It's simple as that.
He isn't exactly a Bob Marley, is he? I'm sorry. Those who know, you know.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, man. But listen, I just listen. Liverpool, they do need a six. Whether they can convince Andre, it would have been now anyway. It would have to be in January. So, I think he's off the cards. I think they're going to be pushing for Lavia again. We were speaking before we actually started and saying how Arsenal absolutely fucked this entire transfer window. And that's what Southampton are coming from again. If Rice is worth this with 1 year, Lavia doesn't have 1 year left. He has about 2 or 3 more years. We want this amount, and they're gonna stand firm. And plus, they're saying you guys just got 50 million from Saudi. Come on, share that shit. Come share it.
Yeah.
But
And that's the thing. I remember back in the days when relegation teams had to sell their best players for 40 million, 30 million. Latvia is in no way, shape, or form. their best player. You get
Mm.
me? To ask $50 million when you are down in the championship for a player, for a player like Latvia, I know you've been in the Prem for how many years now? You've almost certainly solidified yourself. You most likely be back the end of next season. But guess what? Currently, you're not, right? I don't understand why Arsenal paid 100 million for Declan Rice. I will never understand that. That's some FT negotiating if I've ever seen it, right? I'm not trying to crap on Arsenal, but no wonder you have to make a second because it don't make sense.
Sense.
Like, brother, and sorry if my Jamaican is chipping out for those who don't understand it. It's just that serious. It's that serious that I have to get rid of my English American whatever accent and go back to the yard. Like, how you going to pay I understand if it's a prime Messi. I understand if it's a prime Kylian Mbappe, which is no 150, that's fair, right? That's completely fair. But bro isn't even the best TDM in England. We all know the great Calvin Phillips is better.
But Southgate would agree with it.
Southgate would agree with me, and that's why I know Southgate is the right man for the England job.
Exactly. 2030, lifetime contract. Let's go.
Exactly. Until him dead. Until he all angry.
Mhm.
But I'm not in all fairness, so Latvia is not worth 50 million. Right now, the most I'd be willing to spend on a championship player is 35 million on any one of them. Right? Not gonna give anybody no partial. Everybody, you just have some sense. You can't spend millions on a player in a team that is struggling. Well, not struggling, but you get the point? They're not in the top division. They're not competing with you next season. There's no reason to overpay for a player like that. And I think that Liverpool can find other options, right? Especially I think Liverpool can find a lot of other options.
Yeah, and I think there are other options out there, right? If you want to go to the relegation further because you're a bit strapped with cash, I think Tyler Adams would be a good signing for Liverpool. He has a 25 million pound release clause. Would be a good signing in possession. He's a really good player. He can break up the play. He's the type of destroyer that you can have in a midfield. Of Mosley and McAllister, they're gonna be upfield a lot. You could also look for. I mean, they tried getting Sheikh Doucouré, but again with this Rice transfer, Crystal Palace wants 70 million for a player they spent 30 million for. Um, and
But the Corey,
yeah, for Sheikh Doucouré, I mean, that was all down to Rice. I mean, Steve Parish literally said, if Declan Rice goes for this, then we want this, and that's what's going on right now. That is exactly what's going on. But bro, we got to move on. As we said, we're going to do a huge predictions for not just the Premier League, as La Liga as well, the Uber Eats Farmers League, the Farmers League, we're in Lederhosen in Germany, and the Serie A, which might be actually entertaining. Speaking of Serie A, Gianluigi Buffon, 45 years old. How many Serie A titles? How many French league titles? The only trophy evading him was the Champions League. Has retired.
let me tell you something. Buffon, a legend. Take a bow. Thank you for about 23 years of service, I think, if I'm doing the math correctly.
Mhm.
23, closer to 25. Thank you for that. How long you've been serving. Man, from 16 years old, you've been keeping. You've been in Parma. And then you went to win the World Cup at about 17 or 18 years of age when the main keeper got injured. Since then, your career has catapulted to the heights, to the peak of European football. Well, not winning, not quite winning like the peak, obviously. But Gianluigi Buffon, you will forever be remembered as one of the greatest goalkeepers of all time. Thank you for your service. You're an absolute legend. I'm gonna miss you, and it's just a shame that you never represented the guys in red. I'd have loved to see you.
Would have loved him in the Premier League for real, man. For real. Would have been great. But the question is because Buffon, we all know he's a world great. As the only thing evaded him was the Champions League. Ideally, that's just like Ronaldo Nazzaro. That's the only trophy they both missed out on. Um, But for Buffon, we know the likes of Levi Shin, of Ike Casillas, David Seaman, even Van der Sar. But is Gianluigi, as the question states here, is Gianluigi Buffon the greatest goalkeeper in the world or of all time?
No. And there's one man for that. There's one person I put in front of Buffon. And it's not Levi Ashton, it's not Edward Van der Sar, it's not Peter Schmeichel, it's not Thibaut Courtois, it's not any of them. We all should know who the greatest keeper of all time is. And I'm referring, of course, to a certain Manuel Neuer. Neuer, in my opinion, I watched the greatest keeper of all time today. Right? I'm not even joking. Neuer has won the World Cup. He's finished third in the Ballon d'Or ranking. He's won the German league. He's won everything that he can possibly win as a player, except for the Ballon d'Or. He's just a different level. We all remember when Neuer come up against Messi and Ronaldo. It was never Messi versus Muller. It was never Boateng versus Ronaldo. It was always Messi and Ronaldo versus Neuer. Always. And no other keeper in the world, not even the great Gianluigi Buffon, got that level of ranking and respect from me. You get me? And that's the only reason why Buffon is. Buffon is arguably top three of our generation, right? Top three of his generation and top three of our generation by far. And the only man that is above him, or the only two players that I can probably say is above him, is Manuel Neuer. And just because I rate this keeper so highly, right? I rate this keeper so highly, and it's Thibaut Courtois. Right? Every other keeper is below him. De Gea is below him. Stegen is below him. And just caps off an amazing player, an amazing career. Brilliant. Excellent personified.
Yeah, I mean, the Italian maestro in goal, I mean, I can't. Look, Gianluigi Donnarumma, he's taken on basically his exact path, except for winning a World Cup when he was just a kid. But Gianluigi started at 16. Now he's at PSG. Can he have the longevity? I mean, Italian fans would hope so. I mean, they have the same name, but that doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't really want to throw this in, but there is another Gianluigi goalkeeper from Italy. But he's playing for Spurs this season. And, it's not always that big a thing when you play for Spurs. Gianluigi Vicario, who they signed this summer, who possibly is going to be the one.
Isn't Donnarumma Gianluigi? It's Gianluigi Donnarumma.
Yeah, you have Gianluigi Donnarumma, you had Gianluigi Buffon, you do also have Gianluigi Vicario, who signed for Spurs. There are many Gianluigis who play football in Italy. If you actually search who is Gianluigi who plays football, you would have about 20,000 Google pages. That's how many they are. So, yeah. But, it's a great career for Buffon. Whoever can take over that mantle, whether it's at Parma, Juventus, Italy, they would have to be a hell of a keeper. That's for sure.
That is for sure. But I know one man you can throw in the goal and you do an excellent job, and it's Mario Balotelli. I'm just.
But man, it is getting close to, as you said, the European leagues are beginning soon. Syria, we're not making our predictions yet because that is going to consist of the entire league itself. But with the additions, right, we have Syria, Premier League, La Liga. The top three, let's use those three leagues. Premier League had Man City, Arsenal, Man United. Syria, I think it was Napoli, AC Milan, and Inter. I think it was those three. And in La Liga, it was the regular people, Barca, Real Madrid, Atletico. For those three leagues, do you see any real change in positioning in regards to who finishes where? Like, does Arsenal stay in the top three, basically? Does Napoli retain the title? Does Barcelona go back to back? For those three leagues in Spain.
Well. For the other two leagues, which is La Liga and what do you call it now? the EPL. I expect one change in La Liga. I actually expect Atletico Madrid to finish out of the top three this season. It's just one of those seasons for them. I don't think that they're good enough to remain in the top three. And I think that Real Sociedad will take over from them. I know, Real Sociedad. Randy, what are you smoking? Trust me. Just trust me, there. And aside from that, for the Prem, I actually do not think Arsenal will hold on to the top three again this season. I know a lot of people expect them to, but I just think that this one season was just a one season thing, like what happened with a lot of clubs, just one great season. Leicester City, for example, and then they just go back to normal after that. I actually think the top three, the top three this time, and I don't want to shit on Manchester United, which is my team, but I think it's Liverpool, City, and Chelsea. I think Chelsea bounced back. I don't know why. I just see them bouncing back. You know, they're the London Blues. They're the London Cowboys. You can't go against a name like that. Come on.
Well,
Not for
well,
a second here.
well, we have two different ideas in terms of Chelsea bouncing back because I think Chelsea will bounce back, but like I mean, it's gonna be basically the same players. I know that a good coach can just turn everything around and make it hugely different. But and it's a good thing they got rid of Havertz because my question would be how even Zinedine Zidane, Pep Guardiola, how would they get Havertz scoring goals? But that's it. What about Serie A? What about Serie A? AC Milan, Inter Milan, Napoli. Does anything
It
change
stays
there?
the same.
Adapt
It
as well.
stays the same. But the winners will be AC Milan. We know it already. We all know it already. Speed. I show speed on the wing. We can't lose.
Yeah, man, and they got the LeBron James of soccer. What are you talking about, man? They got Chris
Exactly.
sick.
We we have the LeBron James of soccer.
Mhm,
We have ISO speed.
mhm.
We have Fakayo Tomori. I don't know what anybody else is saying, but what you're saying can go into the trash bin. And I'm saying exactly what I heard an American say, buddy. Right? I don't
Yeah,
know what you're smoking, but that can go straight into the trash bin because they're winning the Serie A. And that's what they said. Don't grill me. That's what they said. you know? And I fully believe that. I fully believe it to be true. I fully believe it to be true. Because because they just look that team. They just look to be that team. They have one of the best goalkeepers, one of the most underrated goalkeepers in the world, in my personal opinion, in my mind and in their goal. I would have rather him than Onana. I'm gonna be straight up with you. I would have rather we sign my nan instead of Onana. He's better than Onana, right? The back line is absolutely amazing. And the worst thing you consider that they're actually, I know a lot of people don't know about these rumors, but they're actually scouting Alessandro Bastoni, the Inter Milan centre back. We all know that in Syria, the talents, in order to keep the money in the league, they switch from club to club, similar to Hakan Çalhanoğlu. You know, that's just how it is. Now, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Inter Milan will finish second and Napoli will finish third. Why? Because I do not think Napoli can hold on to Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, and I don't think that they might be able to hold on to Victor Osimhen, especially considering that Bayern is calling on Kane. If they do not get Harry Kane, then it's one or the other. Especially considering that they're losing Sadio Mane, um, and the fact that Alfonso Davies and players like that may leave. I just genuinely see it happening. I want to see all three of my teams win this year. I want to see Barcelona on top of La Liga. I want to see Manchester United on top of the Prem, although that's highly unlikely. And I want to see AC Milan bring the Scudetto home one more time.
yeah, and as you say, Kane actually. Yesterday it did come out that from German sources, Bayern have made an offer, one more offer. They said 100 million, take it or leave it. We need an answer by midnight. And yeah, so Daniel Levy didn't give a shit. He didn't give two shits. Daniel Levy's now on holiday in Miami. He's not responding.
Wow. Okay.
Guy doesn't give one rat's ass. He wants to sell Kane on his own terms. The board have told him that he has to sell him because he's not signing a new deal. But listen, I have no problem. Kane, if he doesn't want to leave England, we know he's gonna play in red and black next season. And
Yeah.
yeah, he leave, he doesn't care. He doesn't want to sell him. He prefers to have 35 goals a season and finish ninth. But that's up to Tottenham. I'm not a Spurs fan. There, I found two Spurs fans in Jamaica. Can you believe it? I found two. I actually found
You
two.
can prove.
I found two Spurs fans. I never thought they existed in this part of the world.
Oh,
Garrett,
I know a couple of them. I know a couple of them, to be honest with you.
I
So
couldn't believe it.
they're
I saw,
rarely, they're rarely, trust me. They're almost as rare as they're just super. They're super rare. They're like the top 10 most rare items in the world.
mm,
Best believe it.
yeah, man. But it was weird. I saw this chick in the Spurs shirt. I think it was in Cape. I think it
Wait,
was
excuse
Cape.
me. Give me a second. All right, I'm getting a quick call. Give me a second.
Yeah, no, do your thing, man. We're here anyway. But as I was saying, I saw this chick in a Spurs shirt, and I was like, you you know, "Hey, what you doing in the Spurs? You like the player?" She was like, "No, I'm a fan. I like the club." And I'm like, "What the hell? Who the hell is a Spurs fan?" And somebody save this chick. Seriously, man. Seriously. It was it was a funny encounter. It was really funny encounter. But until Saf does arrive, when he comes back, he'll just let me know anyway. Why are people still on Threads, by the way? I thought Threads was a dead app. Um, the World Championships, Budapest. You know what's gonna start in what was it, August 19th? Is the World Championships. So yeah, as a small country, I think our highest ever medal total has been 13 medals in general. We've had 13 at the maximum. This season, there are some people predicting there may be more. Right? For me, no. And this is not my World Championships predictions either. That will be, those will be done next week. I keep pushing everything to next week. I can't believe it. Everything gets pushed to next week. But yeah, I'm going to kind of have to push that to next week because we don't have because we don't really want to threaten anything. We want to make sure people are on the plane first. Like last time, we did predict a certain American, Shakari Richardson, to be in the mix for a medal. She wasn't going to win, but at least be in the mix last time. And then the whole drug thing came out, the ban, etc. So we want to be extra careful this time. Um, can we eclipse 13 medals though? I think we can. I think we can, but I don't think we won't. There's a huge difference with thinking we can and thinking we actually will. There's a huge, huge difference because I think Brighton could win the Premier League. I honestly think that Brighton could win the Premier League. Doesn't mean they will. And they are a good team. They do have a wonderful squad around them. They have Robert De Zerbi as the manager. Um, and Sav will be back soon. He's on an important call. But we'll just go ahead with this anyway. Um, I do think Brighton could win the league, but I don't think they can. Same, just like I think that Noah Lyles could actually run close to Usain Bolt's 200-meter record. Doesn't mean he will. Now he has run 19.4 in the past, and I think he'll still do that. I think he'll be running 19.3. I don't see anybody who can beat Noah Lyles over 200. By the way, I just say he's probably going to run against himself to try and get Usain's record or anything close. But in terms of medal haul, let's get back on topic. In terms of the medal haul, does Jamaica exceed 13 medals? No, 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 no. Because even though you can easily pick about 30, you can not 30. Wow, you can pick about 5 or 6 medals off the bat immediately, right then and there. On the women's side, on the men's side, do you actually see a medal? Even in the relays, do you actually see a medal? I mean, the person we're going to talk about in this segment, Navasky Anderson, the 800-meter runner that we do have, he's lowered his PB. He is in prime form. He is actually in prime form. Do I think he can get a medal? It depends on conditions because some of the fastest runners can run nowhere close to PBs, nowhere close to season's best, and still win. So it all depends on the conditions when it comes to athletics. Um, yeah. Um, is he the breakout on the male side? I mean, I can pick three medals that Jamaica may get on the male side, and the 4x4, the triple jump, and possibly the long jump. Those are three medals I know that we can pick apart on the men's side. Definitely. However, I don't think it will happen. I think we'll finish with about 8 medals. I'll go in more depth into that, as we said again. I feel like a broken record. But yeah, man, I mean, I don't see it actually happening, or at least not now. Not anytime soon, anyway. We need to actually develop the men's side. They've been in ball shadow so long, they don't know how to stand on their own. They really don't. Uh, well, guys, we will be going into a quick break. I'm going to check back in with Sav, see what's up. And then we will be back, possibly with Slaughterhouse, possibly not. Yeah, so we'll be back after this quick break.
Gigi Sports, tune in for the offline tour. Like and subscribe some more. With Jackson, Brian and Ram, the Savage. Me talk about Gigi Sports, tune in for the offline tour. Like and subscribe some more. With Jackson, Brian and Ram, the Savage. Me talk about Gigi Sports. Yeah, check out the station for your liquor sports education. Yeah, the best news I come from Gigi Sports. You should be on from. Tune in for the off. Like and subscribe, don't pass. Sometime me I wonder to us. And I about Gigi Sports. Tune in for the offline tour. Like and subscribe some more. With Jackson, Brian and Randy Savage. Me I talk about Gigi Sports. Tune in for the offline tour. Like and subscribe some more. With Jackson, Brian and Randy Savage. Me I talk about Gigi Sports.
Sorry about that. We're back. So Sav will not be returning today. Family issues have risen up on him. So yeah, he won't be here today to do his section of the show. We will then. It will be an abrupt ending, really. So as you guys see on the ticker, right there, like, share. So, yes, finally got that. Yeah, so you guys can go ahead and do that. We will be ending this show a bit short today. As I said, he's got some family personal issues. I'll keep checking in with him, but right now we'll be probably just having the show tomorrow again. If all else is there, we'll probably just have it tomorrow. Sav will do his segment to start. And if there's anything that arises within the transfer world or in any other sport, then we will be reporting. Just before we go, though, as I said on any other sport, Anthony Davis, 3 years, 186 million extension. Why don't you just tell me you want to give money away? I mean, no disrespect to AD, but that's just money to sit on the bench and to go to the hospital with. I mean, if he sneezes too hard, he's in a wheelchair, isn't he? I think basketball pay is a joke. I think it's getting to a point where anybody can request anything. Jaylen Brown's got over 300 million. Jason Tatum is gonna be eligible for a contract north of 340 million. I think it's a joke with the way they're paying players. They're not doing it properly. They are overpaying them. They're making it part. I mean, look, the best example of that was Jordan Poole. He got paid too soon for his ability. Um, yeah, I think they could try to criticize football, real football, with the contract offer that Mbappe got, and that's like the only contract offer out there. That's literally it. I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo, 2 year, £175 million for per year, I think it is. There are players who earn that, not annually, but their contracts are as that mammoth. I mean, I just said 3 years, 186 million. It's just an extra year, but it's still more monetary value. Um, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. I mean, a lot of these guys with the money they're earning. I mean, Michael Jordan over his career, I don't think he made 100 million, but he does have over 3 billion now in assets and in monetary value. But these guys nowadays, they're not really investing. They're not doing things smart with their money because that's it's just living the now, isn't it? It's just living the now. Let's not care about the future at all. Um, Touch a bit on NFL, the National Football League, American football. Um, it's back with preseason. Aaron Rodgers did not feel for the Jets. How's that gonna go? Look, there are people saying that Aaron Rodgers or the Jets will be winning the Super Bowl. I have no clue where they get off on saying that. I think Patrick Mahomes will go back to back this season. I think the NFC will be where the shakeup is because San Francisco will break their curse this year. I think my team, Dallas, until we get a competent QB, then if that Prescott still throws, I have no faith. None whatsoever. It doesn't matter if we have CD Lamb, Prime Dez, DeAndre Hopkins, Jason Witten, Rob Gronkowski with the offensive line from 1994. As long as Doc's throwing, I have no faith in that. Yeah, I mean, Green Bay have gotten rid of Mercedes Lewis. He's gone to Chicago. I know I'm just blabbering on about other sports right now. I'm just doing that. I mean, hockey, I can speak about hockey and say that they're the only sport that pays their players properly. I mean, Sidney Crosby's contract last time I checked, and that's as high as it goes. Well, I think it was a $300 million contract, but it was stretched over 14 years, which does nullify the point. So he's going to earn he's in 20 something million per year. It's not that high. But you see people signing 2 year, 8 million, and that's a good contract. That is a good contract, but because everything's blown out of proportion, people are looking at it and saying, yo, that's not money, you should have gotten more, whatever. And I think before I do finish or end the show, actually, who do you guys actually think? Let's go back to a bit of football, but who do you guys actually think win the European top 5 leagues? A lot of people say Man City, Barcelona, Juventus, Napoli. There are not many people actually saying AC Milan, even though me and Sav do agree. There are not really many people saying AC Milan. Germany, I don't think we need to touch on that. And same in France. Maybe RC Lens prove to be a good opponent for PSG. They're in turmoil. But I mean, signing Gonzalo Ramos really does take that edge off, doesn't it? But guys, enough talk. I'm gonna go ahead and check back on Sav, see what's up. We'll see you guys next week, or tomorrow. We'll see. Just keep following GZ_sports22 on Twitter, and we'll see you guys next time as news just comes in that Nottingham Forest are closing in on Matt Turner, not Dean Henderson. Got it for United fans. Matt Turner will be the new number 1. We'll see you guys next time.